For those who are in Nairobi, you witnessed a very cold day yesterday. That was on Monday, where it was raining the whole day. But today, it is quite a good day. Of course, it's cold still, but then we are having hopes that things are going to be changing as we move forward. This is Biashara Tuesday, and I'm your host, ANYANGO Sylvia. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for an interesting show that is going to be focused on entertaining you, informing you, educating you on matters business, on matters education. This is supposed to be a day when you are to reinvent yourself. For those who want to be joining or advancing their higher education, it is a day that will be helping you understand how well will you be writing your thesis. For those in PhD, how well can you prepare for it? How well, especially those who are in ABD stage, how well can you ensure that when you're presenting your work, it is approved without so many issues. So for those who are on that stage of the academic journey, it is a day that we are going to be informing you, and we have enriched panel in terms of brain capacity and in terms of knowledge, and this panel is going to help us unpack this conversation and help us understand how well can we prepare for our thesis, that is the PhD thesis. So for those who are planning to advance the education, it is also a day that will serve as a motivation to you. Also this morning, we are going to be having a conversation on entrepreneurship, and this will focus on our young entrepreneurs. And why is it that we are focusing on young entrepreneurs? We have a guest that will be joining us this morning who is a young person, 20 years old, and she has begun her journey in business, going through, for those who go to Gikomba, they understand the language when they say wale wanaingia misitu. So she understands this very much well, and she'll be joining us this morning to help us unpack conversations about entrepreneurship, especially for young people who are juggling between balancing their education, their careers, and business, sustaining themselves in school. So she'll be helping us understand how did she manage this, because she is a student, or she is completing her studies, and she has been doing this since she joined campus, and her business has expanded. She'll be talking about more of that in business. So she'll be joining us this morning to help the young people understand how well can they navigate this harsh space, especially because we have had situations where young people are saying that you go to school and after school you find that you are not getting jobs. So she has been in business, and she will help us understand how well can we get into these spaces. She'll be giving us trade secrets, especially those who want to venture in Gikomba businesses and selling things here and there, deliveries here and there in different towns, in different counties. So she'll be helping us understand that, because 4 years is not a short time. So she's a pro in that field. Also this morning, we'll be having a conversation on the state of our nation, and that is a newspaper review. To help us understand the newspapers this morning will be Edwin Oiko, who will be joining us this morning together with our very own Ojuang Mariam. They'll be helping us understand these conversations that are surrounding our nation today, that is Kenya, on the state of our nation. And just to give you a brief of what is on the newspapers this morning, let me begin with the Star this morning. They have given us a headline on how counties' new medical equipment will be bankrolled. That is given prominence on the Star this morning as the biggest headline, and they have other stories. That story is on page 4 and 5. The story on despite huge failures to some families, SHA is a God-send lifeline. A positive story with regards to SHA, and that story is on page 2. It is very rare to get positive stories when it comes to the Social Health Authority Insurance Fund. So we have that story on page 2. On page 3, we have ex-soldier awarded 25 million for dismissal after Somalia attack. That story is on page 3. And we have Ruto rewinds his 22 hustler script for 2027 re-election campaign. That story is on page 6, and that is on politics. We have stories related to football. We have my Gov That is on the Star, where you can get a look at government tenders and business opportunities for the country. Moving on, the Daily Nation has given prominence on politics. This morning we have UDA Raila MPs meeting fallout, and that is concerning the meeting that was held yesterday in Karen to review reforms under the UDA ODM MOU, and that was a meeting that saw different reactions. Members of parliament, some of them were notably absent, including ODM Secretary General, that is Edwin Sifuna, notably absent. So we'll be asking my panel this morning what this means forward for the nation this morning. Also, we have stories on health, and we have patients stranded abroad after 30-day sharp pay freeze. That is on health. We have in politics, what awaits Gachagua on return from US tour. Yesterday we saw the DCP party members giving a presser on what to expect as Gachagua is to set foot in the country on Thursday. And they have even given a warning to the government that if at all his flight will be diverted to either make him land in Mombasa or Kisumu, they won't condone that. So another interesting story that is on the Standard given prominence, the story is on page 3, is about a young man, 25 years old, who sought to look for his father only to end up in sadness after finding that his father was deported and died afterward. That story is on page 3 on the Standard, on the Daily Nation. On the Standard, what is given prominence is worst ever speakers, and that is Moses Wetangula and Amason Kingi, a story that is not the first time is showing up on the newspapers, and this is concerning bribery that has been witnessed in the country. And yesterday we saw President William Ruto once again speaking on bribery on the August House, that is the National Assembly, and the Senate. That story is given prominence on the Standard. It's the only story that is covering the front page of the Standard. So those are just among the stories that we'll be looking at on the newspaper review this morning. But before we get into that discussion, let's take a look at what is happening on the roads and the weather. All right, it is Tuesday, and yesterday we saw it rain for the better part of the day, and it was very cold. So that's why we had so much traffic, especially those heading to town. But this morning, not so much to report on, because I think most people wameogopa baridi and they now resorted to work from home. So from where we are right now, Thika Road, there is the only place we are seeing traces of red is from Survey to Pangani. That is on Thika Road, and it's moving actually. That is the only place we are seeing traffic slow down. And in other areas, that is in other tributary, we are talking about tributaries leading to Nairobi. So I am seeing most of the roads leading to town, except those people entering Mombasa Road through Southfield Mall, that is, that road, Airport Road, along Eastern Bypass. Those ones also, there is a little bit of slowdown when it comes to traffic. But all the other roads, if I look at them, it is quite green, so much traces or long stretches of green. So there's not so much to report this morning concerning traffic, except for those people using Thika Road. There is quite slow down on traffic. That is from Survey to Pangani. And moving on, let's take a look at the weather situation right now in the country. And today we are focusing on a report that is given by the Kenya Meteorological Department. Kenya Met is giving us an update on what we expect in the next 7 days of the week. That is from the 19th, which is today, to the 25th of August 2025. And they're saying Rainfall is expected in several parts of the country, especially the Central Highlands, Western and Northwestern Kenya. However, rainfall intensity and spatial coverage are likely to reduce as the week progresses. And as you can see on your screen, that is on the western, the northwestern, and the central regions of the country are what we're expecting rainfall in the country, and traces of it along the coastline, and that is probably due to convectional rainfall. That is on rainfall. And on the cold and cloudy conditions in the country, we have intermittent cold and cloudy conditions are likely over parts of the central highlands, western Kenya, the southeastern lowlands, and the Rift Valley. And that is because we also have a considerable amount of rainfall in those areas. Concerning high temperatures in the country, we have data maximum average temperatures of above 30 degrees Celsius expected across much of northeastern Kenya, and low temperatures, nighttime minimum average temperatures of below 10 degrees Celsius expected in parts of the central highlands, central Rift Valley, and near Mount Kilimanjaro. And as you can see on your screen right now. And concerning winds, strong winds, southerly to southeasterly winds exceeding 25 knots are expected over the coasts, including Kenya's territorial waters, southeastern lowlands, northeastern, and northwestern Kenya. And that is the weather forecast according to Kenya Met Department for the next 7 days, from the 19th to the 25th of August 2025. Right now, we are going to be having a conversation after the break on young entrepreneurs, how they're faring in the industry, how well they're managing it. And this is despite the pressure that is piled, especially on the Gen Zs, that they cannot maintain employment, that is the 9-to-5 job employment, and so much complaints of them being indisciplined in that field. So most of them have started to venture in entrepreneurship and be their own bosses. So we'll be taking a look at that conversation. How is it like to be your own bosses? How do you navigate the challenges? How do you manage the urge to quit because of tough times in business? Because business is never walk in the park. So how do they navigate those times? That discussion is coming shortly after the break. Na uso wa jamii, kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele.
So my name is Jakupechi. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium.
Sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Welcome to Focus on Health, your weekly guide to staying informed and living better. Join me every week as I sit down with trusted medical experts.
Gynecology is basically a field concerned with mainly the female genitalia.
Explore real-life stories
during when the patient come in,
and bring you updates and tips that are beneficial to your health. Because health isn't just important, it is everything. Tune in to Focus on Health every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. I'm your host, Kandia Marian, and I'll see you then.
Katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Yaani tunapozungumzia mitindo ya kipwani basi unaona napigwa na mawimbi makali sana ya baharini kutoka katika ufuo wa hoteli moja inayofahamika kama North Coast Beach Hotel, ambao ndio wadhamini wa kipindi hiki cha mitindo ya kipwani. Penzi mtazamaji, kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hutakosa kupata mapishi ya vyakula vya kipwani. Yaani hapa tunazungumzia vyakula vilivyokolezwa na kukorombezwa. Iliki, karafuu, abdalasini, samaki wa baharini, vyakula vilivyopikwa na kusukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja, mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalam tofauti, waandishi wa vitabu waliobobea, watunzi wa kuhani mashairi. Bila kusahau mpenzi mtazamaji, taratibu zetu za tarabu na chakacha. Yaani pale ni pale ambapo viuno vya wanawake vinazungushwa kisawasawa kama panga boy za trekta ndani ya KUTV mitindo ya kipwani. Ukiwa nami nahodha wako Waridi Tamu. Usiyakose matamu jamani.
Right, welcome back from the weather, and now on to the discussion that I have been telling you about. And this morning, Sheila is with us to talk to us about entrepreneurship, especially among the young people. Being a young person navigating business, especially in Gikomba, is not an easy thing. So she is the founder of SBS Tours and Guides based in Gikomba Market. So you've seen this on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you've seen different people telling you that if you want something in Gikomba, call me and I will take you to where that thing is. So Sheila also does the same. So she'll be telling us about how that happens. And also, she does so many things in between. Allow me to allow Sheila introduce herself and tell us what she does. Let's hear from her. Sheila, karibu sana.
Asante sana. I'm Sheila Chalangat. I studied in KU, 22-year-old, an entrepreneur. I do business, different things. First, I sell mitumba belts in Gikomba. That is what I mainly do. Other than that, I do sell online items online, electronics, just household items, beddings, everything. So if you want something, I get it for you. But for that, I don't do a physical store. It's something you order and then I pick it up for you. I deliver it to wherever you are. I offer also services like furnishing apartments, Airbnbs, And like if you have a new home, we come check it out. We bring the things that you need for it. Other than that, I offer business classes and guides where if you want to start a business, I give you an idea of what the business is. We check on the best location, the logistics, and everything that is needed to start a business. Yeah.
You said you studied in KU. What course did you do in KU?
Psychology.
Oh.
I was in school of law, science, law, humanities, and social sciences. Yeah.
You know, I expected you to tell me I did, business,
No.
management, economics.
No. I did.
Quite
psychology.
different. So how do you manage it? Because right now it is quite challenging because we have so many people who are offering those guides, especially on the TikTok platform.
Okay.
We've seen so many of them offering guidance. You want to get something, someone takes you to it. And we've also had so many stores. Some of them are fraud, some of them are legit. We have had so many of them. And especially right now when someone tells you that I want to pay on delivery.
Yeah.
So how do you manage such situations and such challenges?
Okay, so personally, my services are like payment on order. The moment you order, you pay it. And for the challenge, let's say, for example, when you offer a good service to someone, they pay for something and they say you deliver by this time, you do it. Probably that will be a good reputation and you'll get a referral. Like, the moment someone says that you're a scam, the old people like believe it. But when one person say that you're delivering good things, definitely you'll get a good reputation. Yeah. So
Now, assuming someone like me, mchezo ya town, I cannot pay without seeing.
Okay.
How do you handle such clients when you're nakwambia, you know what, Sheila, I want to see so that I can pay? How do you deal with such clients?
Okay, if we are around Nairobi, if someone can come to town physically, they can come see the items. If they're not around, like if they're saying that I deliver fast, of course, if the client is yours, that client is yours. If they're not, it's okay. Like I just let them maybe save their number, view my stories, see the way I'm delivering them because I post regularly, like about my deliveries. So the more they watch my stories, they'll believe that I do deliver after payment. Like the moment they pay, I'll deliver the items. So it's about just time. And if they're buying, it's okay. Yeah.
There are so many people who are doing that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using any social media platforms, whether it is WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere, you'll see most of the people posting these things.
Yeah.
How do you stand out?
Being unique, standing out, for example, marketing strategies. Let's say, for example, I go somewhere to the gym or maybe a social event. I make sure that I interact with the people so much physically. So mine is more of physical people that I get. As much as I market my job online, most of the things are like I go somewhere, there is a meeting somewhere, I give out my business cards. This is what I do. This is what I do. Then that person will go search me up on social media. They refer me to a friend, another friend, another friend. So that is how it basically works.
All right.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about the classes that you offer.
Yeah.
On what mode do you offer these classes, and what exactly is, should I say, the course outline? Or
Okay, yeah.
What exactly do you teach?
Okay, let me give you a breakdown of it. So there is the online consultation. For online consultation, it could be through any social media platform where we can call and talk about business generally. And that is, I charge like fair enough for it because we are not meeting physically. And it's just a 1 hour class. You just tell me if you have an idea of the business that you want to do. I'll explain to you maybe where to get the items and everything. So that is the online one. There is the physical orientation. Physical orientation is when someone books me and says that maybe we meet up, we talk about this and this and this. That one also, that is a physical one. There is the supplier introduction. That is where now someone has decided that this is the business that I want to do and this is where I want to settle at. So we go to the suppliers where they do source the items at wholesale prices. And then, the moment they know where they are getting the items from, the business will be much easier to set it up. Yeah.
All right. So it's basically giving someone a stepping stone. If you're green in knowledge where to get goods, where to find the right location, that's where you come in.
Yeah, true.
All right, very interesting. You've mentioned that you are a champion of physical interactions.
Yeah.
But currently, even from the report that we received, I think a week ago, concerning how TikTok sales or online sales or online market space is growing.
Yeah.
How do you manage this growing trend of online marketing or online trade sphere or the online trade space? How do you manage that?
Okay, for the online spaces, I think it goes with what people want at that time. So for example, let's say you see there is maybe certain fashion that is on trend at the moment. So the moment I just say that maybe this thing is something that people want is when I post it. Like, I don't stick to a certain item just because I sell it. I just see what is there at that moment so that, I can go with the market. Maybe let's say, for example, right now it's a rainy season and people are in need of trench coats. So that is when I start posting what is needed at that moment. I don't stick to one item. Let's say I do like skirts the whole time. No, I change over time with what people want. I think that is where I stand out.
All right.
Yeah.
And there is this idea of brands.
Yeah.
When you're known for something, how does it work for you? Because we've seen there are people who are known maybe for trench coats, there are people who are known for dresses. How is that effective? And you've mentioned you're so much into diversity. How does that work for you?
Okay, for that, like the diversity thing, for example, if I post today that I'm selling trench coats, of course there is someone who will notice that I'm selling trench coats. And then over time, next month, I'm posting like I have skirts. And when someone wants a trouser or a skirt, they just want something to complement it with. So they'll definitely ask me, I saw you someday post a trench coat. So it's all about like going back to what I posted in the past and asking about it. And there are records of course, when you are on social media, you post. And then when someone search it, it's just pop out like you posted this, they order it, yeah.
When we the social media that you're talking about,
Yes.
is it the WhatsApp business that we have a catalog?
Okay, yeah, I have a WhatsApp business, I have a TikTok account, and then a website as well. So yeah, and Instagram, all the social media platforms.
In developing a website, how easy or how hard is it?
It is hard, but personally I've been working like with the young people my age. They probably know so much about it. So for example, the person who built my website that I have it right now is a student as well in KU. So they know what is trending, what is there, what I have to do, and they advise me accordingly on what I'm supposed to be posting at that moment. Yeah.
For someone who maybe does not have access to, friends who would do things cheaply.
Yeah.
What is the market value of having a website?
Okay. It isn't that expensive. Let me just put it this way. I'll not give out the figures because it depends on the person that you will go to. Getting someone, I guess almost most of the people right now are very well, they know so much about the social media, the website, technology generally, but they don't have someone who will give them the cash to build them the website. So maybe just trusting someone whom you know that they've ever mentioned to you that we know how to do this, give them the work and tell them that if it works out for me so good, I'll probably pay you this. If it doesn't, of course we'll see, but most of the time it works. So it doesn't have to be like pay instantly because a website is very much expensive. So you just work with them like, let's do this because I'm just beginning. If it works out well, we'll see what to do about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, right now you're 22 years old.
Yes.
You began this when you're in first year.
Yeah.
How was it like getting to Gikomba? Because I understand that's what you began with. How was it like getting to Gikomba? Because from what we have seen, the stories that we've had,
Yeah.
you're told that you need to get to Gikomba very early in the morning. Gikomba is muddy and all that.
Yeah.
Kuna misitu Gikomba. You need to know, kuna huyu plug wa hii anatoa sijui belts za Europe, belts sijui za this one is good quality more than this quality. How did you get to navigate that as a person who was beginning?
Okay, my story is very funny. It isn't like I had someone who even knew like Gikomba, or maybe like right now you can ask someone, take me there, and they take you. For me, it was just a generally like new experience. I just woke up in the morning, and then I've been so much like into clothes, fashion things and stuff. So every time I wear something, someone says, I like that, like, and then I'm like, okay, I can give it to you, and then you give me some cash. So at the end of the day, you'll find yourself, you've sold all your clothes, and then you want to get more, and you want to get more money. So I just woke up in the morning, went there. The first time I didn't know anything. So in Gikomba, the moment you just get there is now the open market, and then there is inside where now the stalls where they sell like actually at wholesale prices, okay? So I went there. I bought things like along the road, not the actual Gikomba market, and that is like twice expensive than the inside market. So I came, sold it, and then with time now I was catching up, this is where I can get it, and that's social interaction with people. They get to tell you where to get things from. Over time I got used to it, and maintaining just a good social, relationship with people can really help you a lot. There it's very hard to find, like at that time, not like right now when TikTok and everything is there. It was very hard to find someone of my age who was doing the same business. So the people I were depending on are like 2 way older than me. Now you have to fit into that class, tell them that I'm able to do this, you can teach me. And with the time, they tend to believe you. They can doubt you for the first time because you're very young. But over time, when they see that you have the zeal to do something, they're like, okay, we can help you with this. So over time, after selling now the pieces, because I was taking the pieces, now over time, they introduced me to the, like, importing the bells. And then I was like, wow, this is nice. So they guided me all through until now I'm still working with them.
There's a tale that is told about Gikomba that for you to survive in Gikomba, you need to have good interpersonal skills, especially how you relate with others. Because I've had friends who tell me that sometimes they don't even go to Gikomba. The clothes are opened, the belts are opened, the best ones are picked, ironed, and sent to them. How true is that concerning interpersonal relationships?
Okay, that is so. Let's just say if you just have a connection there or someone that you know so well, all the work can be done just a phone call away. You just call and everything is delivered to you. As long as you trust that person, they do the work. So, for example, someone is in Muranga or maybe Kericho, they're like, I want this. They call you, they give you a specification or whatever they want. You do everything and then you send them to them. So they don't even have to be there. The moment just you have a good relationship with people there, the sellers, they can do everything for you, pack it and just send it to you, parcel it to you.
All right. Now, as a young person,
yes,
what do you think are the biggest setbacks that are preventing the young people from venturing into business right now?
To begin with, just being a young person. That is the first setback. Being a young person, because when you look at the business spaces, it's mostly dominated by like older people, and them getting to believe you. They normally say that young people, they joke a lot, things like that, and business is business. It doesn't want someone who joke a lot. So being a young person, that is the first challenge. You go to some meeting and then you're trying to introduce yourself and tell someone, this is what I do. It's very hard for them to take you so seriously because you're young, So you're doing all this by yourself, something like. The second challenge is as a young person, capital, definitely. You might be having a very good business idea, you want to do this, but you don't have the cash to start the business.
And what about the challenges that you personally face in your business? Because it's wide, from selling of belts, importing them that I've mentioned. It's quite commendable. Importing them and doing deliveries, all sorts of business.
Okay, to begin with, all the work falls to the business owner. That is the first challenge. Because let's say I have an online order for a client, like these other items, leave alone the mitumba. So I have an online order. At the same time, I have to be in Gikomba. And the way the client would want you to give your attention, they don't want you to assign the duty to another person. Because, it's easier much to assign the duty to another person. So they want you to do the work yourself. Like, go pack it, send me the videos. And it takes a lot of time to do the videos, send it to them, and another work is waiting for you. Another thing is when it comes to deliveries, sometimes you can promise the client that you will get the items by this day, and then the courier service fails to deliver it by that time, and that can cause a lot of mistrust. I gave it to this courier service, it didn't deliver. Another problem is maybe the goods getting lost along the way. Like you send it, you don't know where that person went, you used maybe a certain circle that is not well trusted, and it goes missing. Another issue is maybe I say that I'm sending a parcel from Gikomba to town to be delivered to another county. And then the person he sent goes missing with the items. Like they just go missing. So I'll have to refund back the client the whole amount.
Right.
Another thing is maybe the online images, they would be much different from what someone is expecting. You've seen these Amazon things, I don't know what. So you see an image, and then I make a delivery, the client says, no, this wasn't it, and they're like, I'm returning it, give me back my cash. And that happens a lot. Yeah, but we survive.
All right. Concerning materials and all that.
Yeah, material, the image is different, you can put a cloth in a dummy, and then it looks so much different. Then when someone wears it, it's very much different as well. So, it disappoints a client.
So where do you see yourself on the business in the next 10 years?
That has a lot. I have a lot to say about it. Okay. First, I don't know. I just want to be a very big entrepreneur, dealing in different sectors. I don't want to stick to one thing because, you always can get enough money from diversifying. Again, maybe creating job opportunities, because every time I can be posting something and a friend is saying, you can give me work. You're like, no, right now I'm still trying to, grow, so I can't give you work. So I want to be that big to a point like I can create job opportunities for other people. Have a company of my own where I can say, yeah, I'm managing this from this position, I'm managing this from this point, Yeah.
All right. Now, any advice that you have for a young person who intends to begin a business or has begun a business and is facing setbacks, or maybe that person wants to quit? Any advice?
Okay, for those who are beginning, who wants to begin, just begin, because with the little capital that you have, with all the fear that you have, just do it. There's someone somewhere that will notice it and they will appreciate your work. So just do it. And for someone who is already in business, keep on doing whatever you are doing. Someday it will, you'll get a reward from it. Just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Just on that note,
yes.
How do you differentiate the difference between wasting time in business and being patient?
Okay, if it's something that is adding value to you every day, you feel like at least I've done, as much as I've not earned some good cash, I've done something that you're feeling like, yeah, this is it. That is adding value. But if you feel like every time you're doing something, at the end of the day, you're feeling like I'm so drained with this, but you keep on still doing the same, that is literally wasting time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Sheila.
Thank you
for talking to our viewers back at home. And as we bring this to an end, I'd like for you, Sheila, to tell us or tell our viewers where they can find you. Yeah, and how they can reach you to get your services and classes.
Okay, for the services and classes, you can just check out on SBS Stores on all social media platforms. And then you will get my number there. You can call me, give me a call. For the physical location for Mitumba Bells, Gikomba, when you're in Gikomba, you'll just call me, because giving specific locations, it can be hard. So whenever you are there, you just give me a call, and then I'll pick you up from the Gikomba market.
All right, SBS Stores it is across all social media platforms. If you want to get in touch with her, it is SBS Stores across all social media platforms. Now that brings us to the end of the discussion on entrepreneurships, and especially in relations to the young people. Coming up next is a discussion on PhD thesis preparation, and we'll be joined by a great team, I must say, of experts in that field, and they'll be helping us understand how well can we complete our thesis on time, make it a thesis that is worth getting a PhD. You know, every time you're getting a PhD, you're bringing something new into the education sector. So that discussion is coming up shortly after the break.
Miti miti, panda panda, miti miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups
by providing the right facilities.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by KUTV University.
My name is Ewa Hutoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at KUTV University Television.
Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On Earth Check, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of Earth Check. Welcome.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Welcome to Focus on Health, your weekly guide to staying informed and living better. Join me every week as I sit down with trusted medical experts.
Gynecology is basically a field concerned with mainly the female genitalia.
Explore real-life stories
During when the patient come in,
and bring you updates and tips that are beneficial to your health. Because health isn't just important, it is everything. Tune in to Focus on Health every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. I'm your host, Kandia Marian, and I'll see you then.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
All right, welcome back. We are just from a discussion on entrepreneurship among young people. And right now, we are going to have a conversation on navigating and thriving in the PhD thesis journey. And this specifically is concerning the workshop that will be held in Kenyatta University to help prepare PhD students navigate their journey, especially those who are in the ABD stage, and that is all but dissertation. We are having that discussion, and I told you, those people who are following us on our social media platforms, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on X, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on WhatsApp, you understand that I told you we are having a packed discussion with brilliant minds joining us this morning, helping us understand how well do we get to these stages. We've had situations where PhD students, we've also seen memes of a PhD student saying that it has been a long journey and finally it has come to an end, or someone saying that you've given your all in preparing your thesis, and then you get to you are now defending your thesis and you're told, you know what, go and I don't understand your methodology is quite wrong. So we've had such memes coming up across our social media platforms or in our timelines, and this morning we are having a discussion to help us know how well do we get to pass all the way to the end, especially when you're bringing new knowledge or new information in the education sector. So allow me to allow my guests introduce themselves in studio, and we'll be having more of them joining us as we move forward via online, and more of them will be joining us also right here in studio. So let me begin from my far right. Dr. Please introduce yourself to our viewers back at home.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us in the studio. I am Dr. Jacob Omolo, a senior lecturer in the Department of Applied Economics in the School of Business, Economics and Tourism here at Kenyatta University. I am also the Director of Research, Capacity Building and Consultancy Services at the university.
Thank you so much. For how long have you been in education, in the education sector, especially when guiding students who are doing their thesis?
I effectively joined Kenyatta University in the year 2010 as a tutorial fellow. Then within the year, I graduated with a PhD degree. And then after 2 years, I would say, I started guiding our students, both masters and PhD students, in going through their projects and also thesis. And our program also has a coursework component. So I started teaching the PhD class in the year 2013.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm now to you, Dr.
Good morning, Sylvia. Thank you very much. My name is Jennifer Kibicha. I'm actually a Kenyan, but I am a Carnegie Fellow, and that's what brought me to Kenyatta University. I'm an associate professor at the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is next to Chicago, and you'd recognize Chicago because that's where former President Obama comes from. Yes, I'm a health economist.
Interesting, health economist. For how long have you been doing this?
I graduated with my PhD in 2007. I did a postdoctoral fellowship at the Medical College of Wisconsin, and then went on to work there for 3 years. And then I moved to University of Wisconsin in the then College of Nursing, now School of Nursing, in 2013. So it's been a while, many years.
All right, thank you so much. And those who are joining us online, they're already here. We'll be also talking to them. They are PhD students also. They will be helping us understand the challenges they face. We also have committee members who will also be talking to us later. But let's maintain here in studio about the workshop that is upcoming. Dr. From where you sit, how important is it, especially to the students right now? Because oftentimes, as we were talking before we began this conversation, we were saying this generation is very privileged to have mentors who are closely helping them succeed in terms of preparing for their thesis and all that, their research projects. So how important is such workshops, especially to the students?
Thank you very much. That's a fantastic question. You know, in the workshop that happened last week, we are just like a week late for this particular interview. We showcased the importance of mentorship, and you were very spot on. You know, when I was doing my PhD, it was a very lonely journey. It was between me and my committee members. Now we recognize that PhD is a communal process, and that the mentor is key to the success of any student. And so the workshop showcased a collaboration between the diaspora fellows and the university, and we had over 500 people join us, about 50 people or 60 people in person, and another 500 or so at different points online, just to show how important the topic was for everybody. And I just want to kind of hand the mic to our host diaspora fellow. That would be Dr. Molo to elaborate.
Actually, you see, what Jennifer has talked about is that during her time, it was between her, the committee members, the mentors. But remember, for us, our structure at Kenyatta University and also other universities in Africa is that the PhD journey is between you and your supervisor. There is a little difference here, because the supervisor is like somebody overseeing your work. It's like somebody to hold you accountable. But remember, in this particular journey, we want to play more of an advisory role. That yes, as you said previously, this is the methodology that you are putting forth, but I think you can look at it from this particular perspective, so that I just don't tell you that the methodology is wrong without giving you some idea on how you need to reshape it so that it can look good. The other thing is that we think that we need to adopt more of the mentorship approach. The mentorship approach has the human face in it. For example, if as my student I give you comments on your work, I expect you to get back to me. But most of the times, even if you take a week before you get back to me, a month before you get back to me, 1 year before you get back to me, most of the times some people will not even check with you that what could be the problem. But remember, you may be having some social programs which are not necessarily aligned to the academic issues. So as your mentor, we need to check with you. Are you okay? Are you still on track? Is there anything that I can do so that I can help you get back on track? So that's why we thought about this particular program, so that it can help us reorient ourselves, so that we do more of advisory role. We make the contacts with the students to be much closer. We provide the mentorship which is required. And of course, at the end, help us to improve the completion rates, because there is really an issue with the completion rates, which we are recognizing as a university. The students are recognizing it. Even the larger part of the government is recognizing that as a problem.
All right. Now, in this generation, I would love to mention that in the recent past, that was last week, I saw a parent telling her daughter that, this generation of viewers, you want everything to be done for you. And he was insinuating that this generation is quite weak in terms of that. So from where you sit, there is more of mentorship and more of assistance given to the students. Is it something that makes them weaker, or is it something that strengthens them?
Actually, to me, I think that mentorship is meant to strengthen the mentee, because you are simply telling the mentee that if you want to do this, try this route, instead of leaving the mentee or leaving the student in a jungle, because you have also gone through that particular jungle. The PhD jungle, we have also gone through it, and you got your way out. So we are simply saying that if, for example, you want to identify a good research topic, these are some of the things that you need to consider. If you want to do a good literature review, these are some of the things that you can consider, and these are some of the research tools that you can do. In my view, it's not making them weaker, but it is strengthening them and also facilitating them so that you increase the research productivity. Yes.
All right. And Dr. how effective, from where you see it, how effective is the mentorship to the students?
I can start that and share a story about my own very student who last year had some sort of a mental breakdown, because of the situation with immigration and all that in the US. And what ended up happening is that I got an email in the middle of the night saying, I don't feel safe here in Milwaukee, and he checked himself into a facility. And so my first response was, let's, so we reached out to him and we said, just take care of yourself. And he did. And so for the next 3 months or so, that was between May and September, we were just busy talking to him and, letting him recover from that because his health was first. So at the point at which now he was ready to have a conversation because he was just at the tail end about to defend his thesis, he reached out to me and I said, you know what, you can I know you want to graduate in December, but you can postpone and consider graduating the next year. And he's like, no, that's important to me. And so I helped him to formulate a plan which involved getting the counseling and the support that he needed, making the decision to move from the US and go back to his home country so he has the social support that he needed. And within 3 months, he moved from feeling alone and very afraid to defending his proposal, his final dissertation. And what happened with that is that his proposal was so phenomenal that it was passed with no correction, which is very unusual. Usually when students go through that is that they get a lot of corrections and they have spent a few weeks just correcting that before they can finally pass. Mentorship is not weakness. It's not enabling. It's not codependent. It's actually creating interdependence. Because as somebody who has been in the field longer, just like Dr. Molo was saying, they have seen ahead, you know, and they can show you the way, and they can provide the guidance. They can open the spaces for you, whether it's in the professional space as well, you know, or connecting, networking, and all those opportunities. As a matter of fact, the probability of being successful is highly dependent on the support that you get from your mentor. The better the mentorship relationship, the more likely that the scholar is going to succeed. Because as a young PhD student, you go through, you get your PhD, and then after that you have to navigate the job market as a young scholar, and you have to develop your credibility and build your reputation, build up your scholarship, build up your research so that you can advance in the field. And the expectation is that just like you've received mentorship, then you pass it on to the next generation. And so that is how, just like in the old days, you know, we used to teach the younger people, and the younger people grow up and then teach the younger people. So you're passing it on from generation to generation. So the mentorship and advisory model is the way we ensure that the scholarship continues.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Dr. Ri, help us understand how this workshop was brought at Kenyatta University.
Actually, this is part of a program. We call it the Carnegie African Diaspora Fellowship program. Myself, together with Jennifer and 2 colleagues who are online, Dr. Josephine Gitome and Dr. Priscilla Ndegwa, did a proposal to the Carnegie African Diaspora Foundation so that we could have a fellow here at Kenyatta University work with us on a felt need from May to August. So that's how Jennifer came in. And the felt need that we identified is the low completion rates among our PhD students. We focused it on our School of Business, Economics and Tourism as a pilot, and specifically the economic section of this particular school. So we identified that since we started the PhD program in 2007 as a school, we have enrolled quite a number of students, but then only a few of them have successfully gone through. Actually, you could put it at 5% in terms of completion rate. And we realized that this is actually low. So then we did that particular proposal so that we could have the diaspora fellow, that is Jennifer, come to Kenyatta University so that we can share experiences in terms of how they manage to have their completion rates at around 70%. And yet for us here, we are talking about 5%. So we had a number of activities, one-to-one meetings with the students, one-to-one meetings with the faculty in economics, and especially the ones who are supervising. And also we had a general workshop
for all the faculty and students at Kenyatta University. This is how the workshop that we did last week came about. And because we wanted to tap on the experiences of other people, then we also had several speakers, particularly from the United States, talking to us on the need for deepening mentorship and also mechanisms of increasing research productivity, identifying what kind of things we can do, and also the kind of the search tools that people can use which are available so that they can increase on their levels of efficiency. And of course, generally, talking to us on how we can develop a cordial relationship between ourselves as faculty and also with the students, so that all of us can thrive and get better.
All right, thank you so much, Daktari, and your doctors.
Jennifer.
Thank you so much for your time. At this point, I want us to be joined by the committee members and the two students who are joining us online, so that they can give us the experiences, especially the students giving us experience on how it is like to be mentored by lecturers who took part in the workshop, and how well they have a close relationship with their lecturers, that is, or their supervisors. And at this point, I would release you, but first, let's get to hear what Daktari or the committee members, their experiences in relation to the workshop. And I will begin by allowing you to introduce yourself. Let me begin. Let me begin with the students who are joining us.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Mary Mnyoki. I am a part-time lecturer and currently an ABT. I have done all but thesis. I'm in the School of Economics. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rafael Matu. I am a consultant and I am also an ABT. Glad to join you this morning.
Thank you so much. And now to the committee members.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Priscilla Deku from the School of Business, Economics and Tourism, specifically teaching in the Department of Business Administration. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Josephine Gitome. I'm a senior lecturer from the Department of Philosophy and Religious Studies in the School of Law, Arts and Social Sciences. Thank you for having me here.
All right, let me begin with you, Dr. Priscilla. How was your experience like in this workshop that occurred in about a week ago?
Thank you. It was a great experience where we brought the lecturers and the students, the ABTs, into one forum to discuss their experiences in navigating the journey of doing PhD. There was a lot to learn, the best practices from the Western universities that I felt as a person are good to bring on board in our mentorship process. One thing that we have here in Kenyan institutions or universities is where we have a teacher-student relationship, when in this journey we look at the lecturer as the supervisor and the student as the supervisee. And it appears like the supervisor is having an upper hand on the supervisee. But there are tips that we learned in that workshop that we need to redefine this relationship and look at it as a mentorship relationship, where the mentor is actually mentoring the mentee, and they are working together in this journey, following up on the mentee. And we thought that this strategy is a better strategy, and we can adopt it in our Kenyan institutions. Thank you.
All right, now let's get to Raphael. How was your experience like in this workshop as a student? How effective is it to you?
Thank you once again. The experience, I would say, was great. Maybe it's not just the workshop, because it was a long 12 weeks. So the workshop basically was a summary of what we really learned during the period. For me as a student, I think first of all is to gain experiences on what happens in the US, and maybe comparing to what happens here. The issue of student mentorship, mentorship relationship came out very, very clearly. And it was also quite very encouraging to see ourselves as students sitting together with our mentors in the same workshop, understanding that maybe at times we feel like maybe our supervisors are not giving us the right support. We understood that to complete a PhD, maybe there are those problems which are on the side of the students. There are also those challenges that are on the side of the lecturers, and it was very clear that through the process there is need to have ways in which both the challenges that the students are going through and the challenges that our supervisors are going through, how they can really be sorted so that we can be able to move forward. I think it was a great milestone for me.
All right, thank you so much. And let's now engage our Dean, Professor. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. And I would like for you to introduce yourself to our viewers back at home, and briefly, or just introduce yourself so that they can know you first.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Perez Onono. I am the Executive Dean of the School of Business, Economics and Tourism, but I'm an associate professor in the Department of Applied Economics, where I teach in specifically research methodology, but I also teach public sector economics and project appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just to mention off the topic that you're having this morning, I'm always pleased to have women leading us, especially in these top research projects and top positions. I feel proud as a young girl. Yeah. So kudos for mentoring us in one way or another. Now, from where you sit as a dean, what is the future of these mentorships, especially to the PhD students, now that you head that department?
Yeah, let me start by saying that training in PhD is strategically to continuously ensure that we have senior scholars training others right from undergraduate through to PhD, because we don't live forever. For example, today I'm a PhD holder, but there are those people who are coming, the children who are being born, they are growing up, and the economy needs people who are knowledgeable, people who are skilled. And therefore, this training is continuous. It lasts beyond our lifetime. So when we are here, then we do our best to ensure that we have a critical mass of people who are knowledgeable and skilled, and they can be able to take care of the future generation. By the way, that is what sustainable development is all about. Yeah, getting the best in our day, but also leaving sufficient critical mass of resources for the population of tomorrow. So when this particular opportunity came to us, it comes to us at a time when, of course, the previous speaker had already talked about the challenges of we have people who come into the PhD program, and when they come, they are looking at, in the next 4 years, I should be done. I should have this title of a doctor. And therefore, this mentorship comes to give us an impetus, a kind of a stimulus that can actually make those who are somewhere, it's like lost in the forest, to find their way and actually reach the destination where they are going. So in my view, it is something that has come to us at a time when we need it the most. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you so much. Now that the workshop was concluded last week,
yes,
what should you expect next?
Yeah, particularly as colleagues have shared, during the workshop, we just looked at how can I be an effective mentor? And again, how, as a mentee, how would I maximize on the opportunity of being mentored? Yeah, and what I see, I came into this project as a host because the target student, where you select a group, you work with them and see if it works, and then learn the lessons and spread it across. So I was a host of this program because my students were selected to be part of it. So my expectation is that the students, that workshop where we were, we did not just limit it to economics. We opened it up to the university, and we had all departments participating in that workshop so that there are spillovers, and so that the impact is great. So what I'm expecting is that specifically my students in economics that are lost somewhere are energized alongside with their mentors. And I therefore expect that there is going to be a lot of activities back and forth between the students and the mentors, and perhaps we are going to see an increasing number of students, those who have been lost, an increasing number of students coming back to restart their work. Those who had given up, they'll come back and restart their work. And that, of course, they are going to make the mentorship relationship more active, both initiated from the student side and also from the mentor side. But I may not be able to assess what is happening in the entire university, but given that this is something that was open to the entire university, then we are thinking that there's going to be a catalytic kind of a reaction, so that what we expect to experience in economics will not just be within our economic section, but we would realize it in the business section, in the hospitality and tourism section, and even in the other schools within the university. Yeah. So at the end, we are talking about increased numbers of PhD graduates in every graduation ceremony.
All right.
Yeah.
That is a very positive thing to expect in the future.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Before he left, he told us that there is high rate of incomplete, that is Dr. Yomolo told us that there is high rate of incomplete research projects, especially among the PhD students. And now that we have that coming forth, or expecting such a huge milestone to all faculty or to all schools in the university, that is a very positive thing to expect. So Dr. thank you so much for your time this morning. Sorry, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I would like at this time for us to be joined by Mary, so that she can tell us how has her experience been like, and what she expects now that Professor has told us what is upcoming after the workshop. So Mary, from where you're joining us, what do you expect as a student?
Okay, thank you. As a student, this has been a good journey, because I now expect to have more of an engagement with my supervisor to be more of a mentee and less of to talk to me rather than at me. And over the 12 weeks, we have been meeting with my supervisors, and we have made progress. I feel I have made very, very good progress. I feel like the mental blocks that I had are now gone away. So I feel like I am making progress, and I hope by maybe within this semester I would have defended my proposal, because I'm getting very good support. The program was good because it helped us to see how our supervisors see us, and also see how we view them, so that we were each acknowledging where the shortcomings are. I think that was the most important thing. I think a lot of the group, we are only two here, but a lot of the group feel very inspired, and they're working very hard to achieve their academic goals. Thank you.
All right, that is a very interesting experience. And now let's, Josephine, from where you sit, we have seen, or we have been told by Professor what you expect to be coming up after this workshop. So as a mentor, what is your expectation?
Thank you. Yes, as a mentor, I expect more relationship between me and my students. I also expect the students to understand that I'm not coming in as a supervisor who is simply like carrying the whip, chasing the student to check where is he or she at, and why hasn't she done this or the other, but rather relating with them in a way that I get to know their world, their experiences, and if these experiences have anything to do with the delay of the work, if there be any delay. And if there is no delay, then we can celebrate the moment of success as we move to the next milestone of writing. Because writing a PhD has very many stages, and in each of the stages there could be some stops that are coming up because of some barriers. So my relationship with my supervisee or mentees would be that of going beyond the paperwork so that we can unlock those barriers that block progress. I'm hopeful that this, having started from the School of Business, Economics and Tourism, is actually going to move on into my School of Law, Arts and Social Sciences, and even to other schools, because we have the structures in place. We have our graduate school, we have our postgraduate committee chairs in every department, and we also have research coordinators. And I'm thinking this whole system is there. It's just a matter of putting some little more energy to see the structures actively operational and yielding the results we are looking forward to. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And as a young generation, we say mbele iko sawa, especially for those who intend to pursue their PhD and masters in terms of research and your thesis. With these partnerships, we can say mbele iko sawa. So for Dr. Priscilla, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Dr. Josephine, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. And Raphael, thank you so much. Also, Mary, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. We hope to have you in this show in future discussions in relations to matters education, and that is advancing educations. As PhD holders, master's holders, you are an inspiration to the young generation that are watching you this morning. Now, coming back to studio, this is where we began from. I would like for you to give us any final remarks, especially advice to the young people who intend to pursue either their master's, their PhD, and are really scared of the thesis and the research work. Let me begin with the ladies first.
Thank you very much. It's been very interesting listening to the Dean and my colleagues as well. We are part of a team that put forth the application. I must say that it's important to understand that this mentorship is part of a bigger conversation, because as a PhD student who is a young person who probably is working or maybe slightly older, they have a young family, they have a job, and they have other social responsibilities. There's so much that can interfere with that process. And so in the 9 to 12 week program that Raphael mentioned, we talked about the importance of being able to prioritize things like writing and your dissertation, because those are the things which have the least accountability. Nobody is going to ask you, hey, did you write your thesis today? But if you don't show up for work, if you don't show up for your family, there are consequences, there are repercussions for that. And so as somebody a young person who is thinking, I want to advance, because at the minimum, a master's is needed in this economy. There's so many people with bachelors. And so it's important to do your master's degree so that you can advance and specialize. Maybe a PhD if you want to go into higher level scholarship, but master's for sure. As a young person, you want to be strategic about that journey. Identify a mentor. That's where it all starts. Get somebody to help you figure out what you want, and then look at the person who you want to emulate, and then learn from them. And I must add that YouTube and all the other sources are still viable mentors as well. And then You don't have to go through the same hardships that we went through doing our PhDs. You can learn from them, and just make sure that you get a mentor to help you navigate life. Because as I said, the reason why you have low completion rates, the reason why some people take 15 years or even longer to do their PhD and many others quit along the way, is because they lack the social support. They lack the network that is needed. And they lack somebody to help them to navigate all the other things that interfere with what is most important. So prioritize, get accountability through mentorship and your peers as well, and focus on what's important, recognizing that what is most important for your future might have least accountability. So you must be able to create time, get the support network, and get the resources you need to succeed, and it shall be well.
All right. Thank you so much. If you're at home, you heard that masters is the least. I heard you heard that right. It's the minimum, the bare minimum. All right. Now, Dr. Molo.
Yeah, thank you so much. Starting with that bachelor's degree is now given. It's all like almost everybody has it. So masters is the minimum. But in this particular framework, having taken care of the social aspects that Jennifer has talked about, I think it's also important for us as students to commit time to the work. You also need to develop the habit of daily writing. Even if you decide to pick 30 minutes in a day where you will be writing every day, 30 minutes, it will make you to move a step ahead. Jennifer has mentioned the issue of an accountability partner. That is also very important, because we say that the PhD journey is very long and windy. People find themselves lonely in the process, but you also need to have somebody to be checking on you on a daily basis, just to find out if you actually wrote for the 30 minutes that you committed to write, if you identified the problem that you wanted to identify, so that in the process you have a shoulder to lean on. Thank you. Lakini, as you said, mbele iko sawa.
Mbele iko sawa, indeed. Now, thank you so much, Dr. Omolo and Dr. Kibicho, for making time for us this morning. Yes. It is very interesting. I must say that I'm inspired. In as much as I'm inspired to be successful as a woman, I'm also inspired to, go beyond the minimum, the bare minimum in terms of education. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Now, to viewers back at home, allow me to read a few feedback that you have sent us this morning. We have Beyonce Thande saying, leo nimefurahia sana, ambia producer, apesi namba M-Pesa. We have Beyonce Thande still saying, the future is really female. We have Naomi Njeri saying, so proud of these brilliant women who've earned their PhDs and are lighting the way for others. We have Hugo saying, way to go, setting great examples for young girls in the society. We also have Celine Dominic saying, they are really an inspiration to the young people who want to pursue the same. The conversation today is very interesting. Kudos. Thank you so much for having time for us. For those who joined us online, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. This is an inspiration to the young people, especially the young girls. Yeah, of course, there is the young men also. But more so, the young girls who often see it as a huge stone ahead of them. Now, coming up next is a discussion on the state of our nation, and that is on the newspaper review. See you after the break.
Get ready to embark on a journey into the exciting world of technology as we uncover the latest trends, interview top thought leaders, and dive deep into the world of tech like never before.
Currently, we are facing the challenge in terms of finance. It requires one to move from different counties because we really need a large data set for our model to be more accurate.
In this new and exciting series of the Technovation Show, join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Monday, 8:30 p.m. for a fun and thrilling experience as we explore the cutting-edge developments, meet visionaries driving change.
Somebody who is in the underground mine doesn't know the presence of those gases. So there are a lot of gases involved. There is methane, there is carbon monoxide, and there's also hydrogen sulfide. These gases actually, they are very dangerous and they're very toxic.
And discover the endless possibilities of the tech world. This year, North Coast Beach Hotel has exciting holiday offers just for you. Whether you are planning an August family break or a magical Christmas getaway. For the August family offer, make memories with your loved ones at only 11,543 Kenya shillings per person, sharing for a 2-night stay on half board. There's free family entertainment, fun indoor games, and lots of activities for children. Plus, get a 10% discount on all extra services during your stay. For the December Christmas holiday, celebrate your festive season in paradise. Book before 31st October to enjoy our exclusive Christmas deal. Stay 3 nights between 23rd December and 2nd January 2026 at only 34,628 Kenya shillings per person, sharing on half board. And for our flexible payment plan, take advantage of our Lipa Mdogo Mdogo plan and pay in easy installments. Call us today to book on 0722-209-458 or 0733-409-430 or email info@northcoastbeachhotel.com. North Coast Beach Hotel, a home paradise.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Welcome to Focus on Health, your weekly guide to staying informed and living better. Join me every week as I sit down with trusted medical experts.
Gynecology is basically a field concerned with mainly the female genitalia.
Explore real-life stories
During when the patient come in,
and bring you updates and tips that are beneficial to your health. Because health isn't just important, it is everything. Tune in to Focus on Health every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. I'm your host, Kandia Marian, and I'll see you then.
All right. Welcome back. This is KUTV Biashara Tuesday, and right now it's a conversation on Biashara Tuesday, and it's a conversation on newspaper review. We've had very interesting conversations, women making it in business, young people making it in business, and also making it in the education sector. That is in matters, PhDs, masters, and if you've heard what we've had before this conversation, you realize that we were told that the bare minimum is masters. That is the bare minimum. So right now, let's get to a discussion on the state of the nation, the newspaper review. We have several papers with us here. Time is not really on our side this morning, but I'd like us to go quickly. Before I do that, before we get into these papers, I'd like my guests to introduce themselves. Let me begin from my near right, that is a very honored Joang Mariam.
Asante sana. Good morning. I hope you are well. Kwanza wewe nimeona you are so happy, you've been inspired na your story ya thesis. And I've been inspired to looking at the newspaper today. Apart from UDA Raila MP's meeting fallout, hapo juu naona the future, how it looks for these youngsters who are now millionaires. Naangalia hawa players, naona maboy wa ghetto wenye all they had to do was to step in more international sports center, do what they love, and they have the first million. Then they have another 2.5 million. And then one of the people I'm seeing here, anaitwa Baba, anawaongeza 500k. These are already millionaires. Off the air tumetoka kuongea na yeye conversation about how I must become a billionaire. And I'm looking at these youngsters today being on Biashara Tuesday. 10 years from now, we will have billionaires from the pool of Harambee stars who are here. But in those 10 years, bado unaweza sikia kati yao tukiwa na msee anasema manze natafuta donation ya balls 2 nikapeleke kwa society yetu. Because it's a matter of mindset. I'm very happy to be here today na niko tayari tuchambue magazeti telling Kenyans what's happening in the country. Kabisa.
Tushaanza kuichambua. I had someone saying, aliulizwa, what are you doing with the 2.5 million? Akasema investing. Akaulizwa investing in what? Akasema, businesses. And I was like,
Kuna mwingine aliulizwa na a lady journalist, as unitumie punch. Akamuuliza, nakutumia punch aje na mimi ni millionaire. Ongeza 1000 zingine 2 ikuwe 5k. Ndio nikajiuliza, how many other people, ikiwa huyu ni mmoja, how many other people watapatana na hao na warushie kaki.
Exactly.
10 years nataka kuangalia these millionaires that we've made in 2025 watakuwa wapi, because the future is so bright.
I hope we don't get to that point. Now, Edwin, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. This time is for you to introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm very much happy for this day, for this Tuesday, because it is a Biashara Tuesday and it's all about business. And so my name is Edwin, as Oiko. You're the leader and the managing director for Oiko General Supplies and Communication Consultancy.
Thank you so much. I love it when the young people are, entrepreneurial and they're leading in spaces.
He has not said he's coming from the community of Roysambu, especially Roysambu ward.
So this morning, ini show ya watu wa Roysambu.
Sijasema hivyo.
All right. indirectly, because I also come from Zimmerman. Anyway, let's get to the dailies. And we are having a conversation. I love for us to combine topics here because time is not really on our side. So, sorry. So the Daily Nation, we have UDA Raila MP's meeting fallout. And that is in relation to a meeting we had yesterday. And the router that we have there is the inaugural joint meeting of ruling coalition and ODM MPs was marred by controversy after President Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga put lawmakers on the defensive. The president, for the third time, publicly condemned the bribery in parliament, vowing to have corrupt MPs arrested, while Raila insisted legislators shouldn't run CDF kitty. With the poisoned environment, the forum ended prematurely. The same story, but on a different tone, on the Standard, worst ever speakers. That is the topic on the Standard. And they're saying President William Ruto has once again broken his silence to lash out at Parliament, where the leadership of Moses Wetangula and Amason Kingi is coming under sharp scrutiny. The two speakers stand accused of abandoning impartiality, presiding over corruption, tainted chambers, and surrendering the House to the highest bidder. Far from defending the people they represent, critics say Wetangula and Kingi are fast cementing their place among the most underwhelming speakers in Kenya's history. Quite bold. That is the standard. And all these conversations are centered around the relationship between UDA and ODM. Yesterday we had our reporters going to town to ask Kenyans what they think about this UDA ODM pact. I think we'll get to listen to that story in a bit.
President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga co-chaired a joint parliamentary group meeting held in Karen. The meeting brought together lawmakers from UDA and ODM to advance their memorandum of understanding, signaling a commitment to closer collaboration between the two parties. However, despite this high-profile show of unity, a majority of Kenyans remain unconvinced that the coalition will yield significant benefits for the country.
Nasema UDA na ODM kuungana ni mchezo tu wa town kwa sababu wao wanajaribu kujitakia mazuri, lakini kulingana na mimi hakuna kitu cha maana ambacho wanafanya. Ni ile kuungana waendelee kujinufaisha wao wenyewe, si tu wanasaidia wananchi. Wao wanaungana, wanajinufaisha, they are sharing the resources to themselves.
The unity gesture was overshadowed by the absence of ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and MP Babu Owino, underscoring internal divisions within the ODM over the partnership with UDA. Last year, ODM had already contributed experts, including Treasury CS John Badi, to assist UDA in running the government more efficiently. While this cooperation showed a pragmatic approach to governance, concerns remain about the coalition's cohesion and long-term success.
Because the constitution guarantees like everybody in our country should get equal resources. But saa hii unaona kama rais anaenda huko Nyanza, huko Homa Bay, Kisumu, anapeana vitu huko. And then what about hizi sehemu zingine za nchi? Kwa sababu hawamuungi mkono, sasa hawatapata kitu chochote. Kwa hivyo ni kinyume na sheria kabisa vitu yenye wanafanya. Hiyo miungano yao honestly ni kitu ambayo haifurahishi kabisa. Wanastahili kufanyia wananchi kazi, si mambo na miungano.
Many Kenyans remain skeptical, claiming that the political alliances serve the interest of the political class rather than the nation. A significant number believe that this partnership will make little difference in addressing the country's pressing challenges.
Because this coalitions has been there in the past. And the greatest need of our nation today and every individual is a change of heart. Because however much they can merge together, and they don't have the best interests in this country, because coalition has been there in the past. We have had too much of it.
Ruling party UDA has today cemented their partnership with party ODM. However, majority of the Kenyans have expressed their dissatisfaction, claiming that the political class is only after their own gain. Glory Kadure, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, a lot is going on. So do you agree with Kenyans that hii ni mchezo ya town? Let me begin with you, John.
Kitu cha kwanza that I love and I'm so happy about is the civic awareness the citizens of Kenya have. Kitambo, if you could play the bites za news za Kitambo, they were mad with Serikali saidia, Serikali saidia, until the then President Kibaki asked them, hadi lini ndo utasema serikali saidia? When will you do the reverse? Today, the conversation on such bites being done by the same citizen are starting with katiba yetu inasema, sheria yetu inasema, viongozi wanafaa kufanya. I love that. And these Kenyans are not bad in, they are not bad in being skeptical. It's because they've seen promises. There is one from Mrima who is talking about coalitions and how coalitions have been there year in, year out. But our leaders don't have a change of heart. They just read, but they don't have a change of heart. What is change of heart? Change of heart is you reading a Bible and saying, from today, I proclaim Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Change is you reading the Quran and saying, from today, in the name of Allah, I am changed. We have a constitution that is changing everyone, I think, except the politicians themselves. Only the environment is changing, but themselves, they are not changing. So yesterday, and I said during Art and Culture Monday that the meeting was going to happen, according to Junet Mohammed, the Member of Parliament for Suna East, it was to come and write plans za kupeleka serikali mbele. Yet we have an ADCO report, we have a committee, we have 10-point agenda, we have a committee, zinashughulikia hizi vitu mbili. So yesterday, one of the things zenye zilitoka kutoka kwa hiyo meeting was, these two joint parliamentary groups need to go for a retreat. And it will be planned in months to come.
All right.
That is what huyo kijana anasema. They are just serving their interests. Hizi zingine zote zinakuwa ni story.
All right. Now, yesterday, Edwin, we saw Ruto say that hata kama Raila angeshinda, angefanya the same thing yenye yeye amefanya. And if we look at the Star, that is on page, I think 5, where they are saying they are rewiring this conversation to Ruto rewinds his 2022 hustler script for 2027 election campaign, and they're likening this change to, you know, ata Raila angeshinda, we could have this, you know, broad-based movement. He could go to get his opponents so that they form one coalition. And we've seen rifts with the members of parliament. We've seen rifts with the party members. And right now we are seeing the public outrage. So what do you make of this?
Okay, that saying that is Raila angeshinda, he will have done what Ruto is doing now. But if you look at the politics of Raila and Ruto, they are two different things. Raila is a reformist, and Ruto is a democratic person. But how serious is he that if Raila was the president, he would have done what Ruto is doing? One thing, Ruto rejected BBI, that is during the handshake, and because of rejecting that BBI, which had the youth commission and youth policies, then we saw the youth uprising. That is the choices that Ruto made, they came back to him while he is now the president, because the Gen Z uprose and they complained and they made their voices to be heard. But if Raila was the one who was on that position, that could not have happened, because he was the one who suggested for the youth commission. So Ruto saying that if Raila was the president, he would have done what he's doing. No, if Raila was the president, he would have done better than Ruto. That's where the difference is.
All right.
I agree on, he would have called him. Yeah, because they are same monkeys, same tree. In the year 2005, ODM is formed, and William Ruto is part of ODM.
In fact, right now, he always refer to ODM as my former party.
When he's giving threats to the current SG, he tells him, I'm one of the founding members, and I can call them to kushughulikia wewe. So it's still ODM. Chenye mimi I still believe would have been different is the kind of leadership we have. If Baba would have taken it being a reformist, na ni kitu ameishi kutamani sana, he would have tried to rewrite a legacy. Right now, I feel he works from the emotions of, I've tried so much to fight for this country, and this country doesn't want me. So let me find something for myself. And that's why he wants, then he doesn't care if ODM breaks or not. Because ODM lacking Sifuna in a parliamentary group, ODM lacking Babu Owino in a parliamentary group is a message that can only be understood by the elites of this country. Because mtu wa hapa chini bado atauziwa hao watu nini hawataki. ni pesa hawataki ama maendeleo hawataki.
Is it a message or strategy? Because in politics there is no coincidences.
There are no
And also-
coincidences.
You see, first thing in ODM, there is a message that people have not understood. The current party leader in ODM is ANYANGO, I guess. That's the current party leader.
On paper.
Yeah, on paper. That means he's in charge of ODM. Then Sifuna is the SG. But in ODM, we have two sides. One side saying the other, and the other side saying the other things. Like Sifuna is the Secretary General, and the Secretary General is a spokesperson of that organization. Yeah. Then we have those, they say, experts that were given to President Ruto to work for him. If you look at those two factions, yeah, each faction has its own statement and its own belief. But one thing we know is that ODM itself, it has a plan, but we don't know which plan it is, because Baba is the master plan of everything.
Sisi tutege. All right, and it's very interesting because if I saw someone who really disliked Ruto tell me that, you know, ni kama nitavotia Ruto. And I asked kwa nini? Ati si baba akisema. And I'm like, okay, we are a confused nation. Now let's move to a different topic. The Star has Auditor General saying that political parties are wasting millions. And this is someone who has been fought for a long time. That story is on the Star on page 7. They say inaccurate record keeping, unsupported expenditures, and systemic failures among other cited challenges. This is a time when everyone is coming up with a party. Okay, literally not everyone, but we've seen so many parties coming up. In fact, at Babu, you know what, you should get your own party. So we are seeing very many political parties coming out. So what do you make of this report? Are these political parties really formed to you know, with agendas, or they're just parties formed to siphon money, according to Auditor General?
There are a number of reasons why people form political parties. People don't necessarily form political parties so that their party leaders can become president. Otherwise, Dr. Kuru Okot would not have formed the Third Way Alliance, because he was supposed to know by then, ikiwa mimi si muongelelei yeye kuwa president, he wouldn't have become a president. Mtu mwenye utasikia ni president hata mimi namjua. Kama simjui yeye hawezi kuwa president hapa Kenya. The other reason people huwa wanafungua vyama is because they want to source for funds abroad. Today you will hear that the Wiper Party just stays in a comfort zone because they know there are some party members from abroad who will channel in something. The same case is happening to the NAC Party of Kenya, to a point that it is dying. They've tried even rebranding to PLP, but today I can tell you youths that I knew are foot soldiers of NAC Party of Kenya that belongs to Madam Martha Karua are crumbling in DCP. Not because they are there because they want to, just because they feel they are not at home in the new PLP. So what would you say is the purpose of that party? How are you telling me that this party will make someone a president, yet the youth who are the future are leaving that party? Another reason why people form parties, they want to form parties so that their community can have a voice. You will hear them say, UDA ni chama cha wakale. You will hear others say, na by the way, I've heard even Gaucho say this, that by the way, chama cha ODM ni chetu. When he says ni chetu, he means Wajaluo, trying like to tell off the SG who is Aluya. So some parties are formed so that the communities can have voices. The PA of Pwani, they formed the PA so that they can feel tunataka kabasi ketu kakuenda pale hivyo kupigania hizi vitu kubwa kubwa, of which ya wadilifu dafu. That is why he's on the standard as speaker. Shida ni imeandikwa worst speakers. Unaona? So there are very many reasons people form these parties, but kufyonza pesa si one of them, because imeshindwa kuwork. We were supposed to have a party in this country called Inject Party. Huyo kijana alipigwa sana. Hakuna party kama hiyo. I've been following up to know what happened to that party. That party, by the order of ORPP, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, did not sail through. And they said that there was no way people under the age of 35 can have their own party bila wazee. That was one reason. Sasa kwa nini vijana watafanyiwa hivyo na ni mwenye na asajili vyama ndo anafaa kutupea sisi chance? Vile communities zingine zinaweza pewa chance, haya basi kueni party yenyu, sisi tufanye the same. Parties kitambo hazikuwa zinaformiwa hivyo. From the days of EAA akina Harry Thuku wakiform hizi vitu, ilikuwa ni sisi tunataka ka voice ketu kanasonga. That's how even tulipata vitu kama kotu at one point hata wakataka wanaweza sema hii kotu itapeleka watu bunge, itapeleka na ikuwe party. You are supposed to be free. You're supposed to be free. Nashangaa sana hadi tukisema that the current president are democratic, yet have what the rule of democracy that says majority must have their way as the minority have their say. Yeye anapeaga majority their say na minority wanakula their way.
All right. Now, Edwin, what do you make of these stories around political parties?
You see, in Kenya, political parties are used as a tool of negotiation during campaigns. And most of the times we see that these political parties are being portrayed as tribalist, which is under violations of Article 27, discrimination, under race and all that. But how can we change that norm that political parties are not used as tools of tribalism or channels of making our campaigns in politics have making our campaign in politics that is differ from other countries? Because when you see countries such as South Africa and that the same country that the president keeps on saying, Singapore, the politics and the political parties are not under or do not face violations of discrimination. Their political parties work under values and let's say customs and developmental agendas. But in our country, we see that most of the political parties, each political party represents a certain region. You see, like for example, the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua being referred to as a tribalist because of saying the Mount Kenya thing. But in Kenya we have so many regions. We have Nyanza, we have Rift Valley, we have Mount Kenya, we have. But when Gachagua keeps on being proud, that is pride comes before fall. Being proud of being a Mount Kenya person, it's good because he's proud of where he has come from. But according to these other regions now, the political bigwigs from these other regions, instead of them being proud of their own regions, now they are discriminating Gachagua that is being tribal because of saying he's from Mount Kenya. Then if you come to these the register of political parties, when they refuse to register the Gen Z's political party and saying that the Gen Z's should have that is older members in their parties. Of course, it's good to have people who can advise the young people about how they are going to run the party, but as well that was again discrimination because they discriminated us as young people that we cannot run our own party or our own political party because they don't believe that we have the values and we believe the beliefs and missions of advocacy or implementing agendas that can help the country. Because at a times when a child grows up, it reaches a time that the child now becomes part of the discussion table, not being discussed about or being talked to. Because at a certain age now, the child will require to discuss with the father to know whether if there is what he wants, development, or the way further with the family and how he's going to integrate himself as an adult. But when the register of political parties refuse the Gen Z, now that they're still saying that you're still young, you have to maintain until you're up about 35 and above, and that is discrimination.
All right, so you were saying that people are not proud of their regions.
Yeah, people are not proud of their regions because when I'm saying, let me say for example, I'm from Kisii. If I say Sisi, they are Bagusi, I'm proud of Abagusi because after all, it is my identity as a Kenyan. And there was a campaign that is an organization that runs identity campaign. I think they should advance because we are supposed to be proud of our identity because I'm a Kenyan, yes, but what identifies me as a Kenyan? Which Kenyan am I? I'm a Kisii, a Bagusi, so I'm a Bagusi and I'm a Kenyan. That is my identity as a Kenyan.
Don't you think that will fuel tribal politics in the country, because if everyone identifies himself, the only reason why the Gen Z protest was successfully massive was because we were tribeless.
You see, when you bring the word tribalism or tribal in politics, it is the same as saying black or white, mzungu, mwafrika. You see, because the word tribe itself, that's where now the discrimination becomes in. It's like saying when mdogo, when mkubwa. But if you agree that there's nothing like tribalism, what we have is communities. Yeah, there's this community, and there's this community. So when you say that there's tribal, that's not a good way to put it, because this is a certain community that has its own identification as a certain community. Instead of calling them tribalism, we should advance them. We should make them understand, or we should create community welfare avenues. Or let me say, some countries like Sri Lanka, they did it. They brought about community liaison boards. When community liaison boards were brought in Sri Lanka. So if you see community liaison board, that means that one thing that Sri Lanka was fighting is tribalism. Bringing all communities on board and everybody accepting that they're from this region and that is the identity, but that is not tribalism. That is, if you put that as a tribalism, that is discrimination under Article 27.
All right, that is a very interesting topic. Ojwang, do you have a comment?
Exactly, I have a comment. I keep saying the reason we are Kenya is because we are a nation of many communities who have sat down and decided we want to be identified as Kenya. Not identified by our skin color, because all of us are black and we put that as our first color. Another thing that makes us Kenya, irrespective of you being Sylvia ANYANGO and I coming from a different community and this Abagusi, is the blood that our forefathers shed when they were fighting for a republic called Kenya. All these communities, we are also aware of our boundaries, the green boundary. Na ndio maana unasikiaga tukijam sana kusikia Wasomali wameiba maji sijui wapi kule hivyo. Kitu inatupeleka inatufanya mpaka the former president anaingia UN kusema hapana, because we know that tulikuwaga na hizi vita side za Uganda na Tanzania when they were doing the boundaries before Lake Victoria ikae mahali iko saa hii, kulikuwaga na hizi vita. There was a time president from Uganda, his name is Idi Amin, had said juu Milton Obote that sasa juu ni mnoma sana anataka kubeba kapatika Kenya. Mzee by then Jomo Kenyatta akamwambia, please, and I'm begging you, please, usiende mbali, ingia hapo Homa Bay ama Siaya, kata kadogo, kuna migingo, kata kamigingo kadogo. Alishindwa. Go on with that history, follow it. Even Museveni alishindwa. Leo hii, if you want to try to touch Kenya, guza migingo. Uko juu ndo kuna shida. Na kwa nini kuna shida? Juu ya viongozi wetu wanaingia huko juu, wanapiga deals na militia, and then our militia wanatukuta huku, wanaanza kutuua. You will hear of another day when Turkana people were ambushed, 20 of them were killed, not by the people from Kenya, watu kutoka hapo juu. Na ndio maana tunakuaga hadi na jeshi. Nyinyi Waluo mtoe watu wasacrifice wakuja waingie jeshi. Nyinyi Abagusi mtoe watu waingie jeshi. Wakikuyu wale wengine the same. Ndo tujilindie haka kaboda kanchi tunaita Kenya. But which Kenyan are you? You are the Anyango Kenyan. You are the Oiko Kenyan. I am the Maina Kenyan who refused to be a Maina and became Ojwang Mariam. I'm supposed to have a daughter to be called Nyakenywa, but I refused that, so she is Melissa Mariam, to be identified as a Kenyan. Yeye ajione kama Kenyan. Mimi napendaga kusema huyu ni ndugu yangu wa Kikenya, but najua mimi na huyu hatutaki kuwa the same. Huyu ni Abagusi na ako na beliefs na vitu zao. Niko na best yangu mwingine mnoma wa Saidi ya Kisii anaitwa Okenye, and we keep even joking about night runners. Na hiyo courage ya unatokea tu hivi unakimbia But that has never made me see him different. I see him as my brother. Tuko na wengine kaa kina Boni. Sometimes I'm even confused. I talk to Boni in Kikuyu. Ndo tunakumbuka, oh, Gathe, wewe ni wa ile side ingine, you are Odhiambo. And that makes us different. That's why we are powerful. Baghdad are countries that have been inspired by us. Burkina Faso by us. The whole world calls the capital of Africa Kenya. Kwa sababu ya umoja wetu.
All right. Now, I'd like for us, because time is imesonga, to pick a story each that will serve as our last comment on the newspapers. So, you have the Daily Nation. Edwin has the Standard. So pick a story on each of the newspaper, one story, and that story will serve as our closing remarks. Let me begin with you, Ojong.
Okay. I'm taking the story on Daily Nation. It is on page 3. It is a story of a young Chinese boy.
Kenyan
Chinese. Lakini picha yenye iko pale hivyo naona Chinese. Man's search for Chinese father ends in sadness. When the reader gets this copy of Daily Nation, atasoma kuhusu vile huyu mtoto alikuwa 18 years in 2019 when he realized babake mwenye amekuwa akitafuta aliaga. Na huyu mtoi maybe atatumia miaka ingine mingi ku get into terms with that.
The dad was actually deported.
Vitu mingi sana zimepitia huyo mtoi. And I'm writing a book, Believe Become, because I believe in the power of self. Wewe mwenyewe, when you were born, it's someone who called you Sylvia and ANYANGO. You must get to know why. Vitu kama hizo zimesumbua huyu boy hadi akataka kujua about my father more, but sadly akakuwa ameaga. I speak as a voice of ghetto and I represent ghetto. Kila time nikiingia kwa community, kaa juzi nilikuwa Mr. and Miss Soweo, iko knows that. As a host, I sell the stories, the resilient stories of my people to the world. And that's why I'm grateful to Kenyatta University, because it gives me this platform to showcase where I've come from and what our people looks like. That we are all the same and equal to God. So, huyu kijana, ako mahali ako trapped. Kuna watoto wengi sana wako trapped. Hawajui wazazi wao or vitu kama hizo. Ina hapa hivi Soweto kwa hiyo group ya Roysambu, you will find that watoto wengi wenye hawana baba zao ni wanajeshi. Wenye walikuwa wanajeshi kwa kambi and then wakapata watoto na wakaenda. Watoto kama hawa wako wengi sana in this community of Roysambu. Baba zao walikuwa wanatengeneza Thika Road, wakakuja wakapatana na maanti zetu huku hivi, alafu wakapata watoto kama huyu. It is very important for each parent to let their kids be aware by telling them where they came from. So that when they grow, they will not forget who they are as they are trying to search new identities. The reason we have people with identity crisis, it's because they don't know where they came from, so they don't know themselves.
All right. Edwin?
Yes. I'm going to click on analysis. That is on counties starved of funds despite devolution promise. The counties are now they're the implementing factor of the Kenyan government projects on the people's level, that is on the lower level, through the counties and through the members of county assemblies. So these counties should be given funds, and apart from them given funds, these funds they should be oversighted in such that even if they're given these funds, they make sure that the funds they reach the lower level or the mwananchi part, that is the people under the ward levels. And then they should strengthen implementation of projects and public participation of local projects, that is on the ward levels. And apart from that, they should again devolve most of the functions, like for example the youth policies. So that if these youth policies are devolved to the ward level, apart from the county itself, and we can have budgets, that is youth budgets, also on the ward levels, so that we can now, because the youth are they have the bigger population, and because they have the bigger population now, if we devolve the youth functions to the ward level, that means that the youth will have an impact. That is, they will feel the impact of county development projects and the county development agendas.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time for us this morning. On Biashara Tuesday, specifically newspaper review. And just to mention, we have 2 different stories on health. That is SHA. The Daily Nation are giving a negative story concerning SHA, saying patients stranded abroad after 30-day SHA pay freeze. Ailing Kenyans can't access Social Health Authority cash. And the Star has a different topic, a positive one, saying despite huge failures to some families, SHA is a God-sent lifeline. So we have those 2 diverging stories. And also a comment from KUTV's newsroom, and I'll not mention the person who said that, saying that Ruto is working. It's just that the propaganda is louder than the work that is being done. And just so you know, it's not Blue Smile. So, so that brings us to the end of newspaper review this morning. I hope to see you guys next week, same time, same place. It is bye from us.